Hello, I'm Alison Fox from the School of Education at the University of Leicester, and I want to tell you about part of a study that we've done about what teachers in the UK think about social media. This builds on some earlier work that we've done where I've been collecting maps from teachers that look like this one here about how teachers connect with other people and websites and information to help them learn as teachers. And you can see that they use websites, they refer to other people, they have mentors in the schools, but nowhere on these maps that I've been collecting from 2002 up till 2010 had I found any information about how they or whether they use social media. So I organised a study with my colleagues about what teachers said about their use or not use of social media, to find out which teachers were using social media, which not, how they used it, and how that connected with whether they used it personally at home or not, and what their attitudes to it, what they thought about using social media as a professional tool for using with students and for their own learning. We designed a study, and I want to tell you about the questionnaire that we designed. First of all, we asked teachers in small groups. We had long discussion about what sort of social media people were using that they were aware of, and how they were using it, and what sort of thoughts they had about it. And we designed a questionnaire which they filled in online and was completed by 216 teachers spread across the UK. The questionnaire was given to them via a link that they could go on, and it had 42 questions, so it was quite long. They needed to answer yes, no to some questions, and some of them they were given some choices. The first few questions were about whether they'd been given any advice about using social media as teachers. The next lot of questions were about how they use computers and technology generally, and how they use social media both personally and as teachers. The third set of questions were about what they thought about social media and its potential for educational use. And the final questions were some information about them. So who completed the questionnaire? 71% of the teachers that answered the questionnaire were female and the others male. You can see there was a spread of ages of teachers from the age of 20 up to the age of 65. And teachers had taught for, they're either in their first year through to teachers that are taught for over 30 years. So what roughly were teachers using, what proportion of teachers roughly were using social media? We managed to count 46 of those 216 teachers who could be called non-users because they weren't registered with Facebook and Twitter. And another 40 that were really enthusiastic. They registered with Facebook, they visited at least once a day, they posted, they uploaded photographs, they manually adjusted their settings, and they also had a Twitter account and tweeted. So that left 131 teachers somewhere in the middle that did or had used social media but didn't do it regularly. So thinking about those two extreme groups, we have the enthusiastic teachers who were group 1 in this picture, were mostly aged 26 to 35, and the non-enthusiasts, the non-users, were the group 2 and mostly aged 41 to 55. If we think about how much teaching experience they'd had, the enthusiastic teachers had mostly taught between 6 to 10 years, and the non-enthusiasts or the non-users had mostly taught for between 21 to 25 years. The teachers had been using mostly Facebook and Twitter, although they did list some other tools that might be called social media. 71% of the teachers used Facebook and 52% of the teachers used Twitter. But of the Facebook users, most teachers were using it personally and not professionally, whereas for Twitter, most of the teachers were using Twitter professionally as teachers rather than personally. So we'd be really interested to hear what you think about this information? Do you think this sounds surprising? Do you think these teachers as adults have the same sort of pattern of use of social media as the students they teach? And what do you think about the use of social media personally and professionally? Is this something that's difficult for teachers and students, or is it something that's actually one of the main strengths of social media, that it spans between home and school?